What is going on, guys? This is Joe Young coming at you an update video on the shrimp tank here. This is my other shrimp tank that is housing only blue bolts. So as you can see here, there is quite a few updates on the tank, so I'm going to kind of give you guys that update today. I went ahead and put in these blue rasboras that I had. I think originally they were in the waterfall tanks. That's what my Wabikusa tank was. And I decided to go ahead and kind of do a blue theme similar to the red theme of my crystal shrimp tank. In this tank, there's less fish in here, but I may end up adding maybe a couple more fish, but I'm not quite sure because I kind of want to have this focus on mainly shrimp, and really the fish are there just to kind of clean up the food if the shrimp can't eat them fast enough. And in the back, I originally had a bunch of Laguiglia whites in the back, trying to propagate that in a lower tech environment. Some of them did okay, some of them did fine. The only problem I saw was I only had a few stems. So what would happen is over the weeks they would kind of build up algae, because as you can see this tank does have algae and I do have to scrape on the walls every week. That the leaves on the Laguiglia white would kind of be covered in algae, and then it would kind of hinder its growth. So the plant wasn't growing as fast as I thought it would, or fast enough. So I went ahead and kind of swapped it out with a bunch of plants that I had here on a bunch of trims that I had, kind of make a forest in the back to help mitigate the algae that was on the glass, and also, you know, to kind of absorb a lot of the nutrients that's in the tank. So the only other plant that I actually had in the tank was these two swords here, and actually the swords are growing really well, but they're slow growers, and as you can see they're not really taking up much space. So there still was a lot of algae growth in the tank, so I had to kind of combat it with throwing a bunch of basically plant matter into the tank so it can actually absorb it, until one, I can propagate more of these guys, or two, I get some sort of other plant that I want to backfill this tank with. And the other new addition to the plants, as you can see, the snails are doing their thing right here, having a great old time, is the Monte Carlos. These are the low-tech Monte Carlos I had in my Mini S in my other room. I went ahead and grabbed a couple of them and kind of tossed them in here to see how they would grow. Since they are already low-tech grown, I was hoping that this would kind of cover up this area here for our carpeting plant. So my original plan was to try out some blood vomits in here, and actually there was only one that did really well, and then finally it kind of got uprooted and kind of died eventually. I think it's possible to grow those low tech. It's just a little bit slower than I would like, because I kind of needed, again, plant matter or plant mass to kind of cover this so that algae doesn't take over. All right, so let's get to the actual shrimp. So as you can see, there's one blue bolt right here that's just chilling, the big one, and as you can see I got shrimplets already. So that's one baby blue bolt. A few weeks ago I noticed that a couple of my blue bolts were really buried in terms of like having a bunch of eggs, and I knew that they were going to give I guess birth, or you know, shrimplets pretty soon here, and I didn't really know when. Actually last week I noticed 3 of them kind of was just scattered around, and I noticed them kind of swimming around, so I was really excited because I've never actually had blue bolt shrimplets. I've had other shrimp that laid before and stuff like that, but never really blue bolts, because my blue bolts would either all die or they wouldn't transition really well. And the really cool thing is I'm trying to breed these blue bolts in tap water, and this is just straight up tap water. Nothing special, nothing additive other than just the substrate to help with the pH and also with the buffering in the water. So I'm really excited for the shrimplets, and actually for them to grow up and actually multiply in this tank, because I really did not purchase any additional shrimps in the tank. I went ahead and I was like, I actually have a pretty decent amount of blue bolts in here. I'm gonna go ahead and breed them and just see what they look like, and if it breeds or not, because I wasn't really quite sure that I was gonna have any success with these guys, because like I said in the past, I would only be able to keep like 1 or 2, and then the rest would kind of die out. But actually, these blue bolts I have so far, they're all doing really well. They're eating really well, and hopefully they take off for me. And I don't know if you can see here, there's another shrimplet on the far left here, right there next to the roots. It's just kind of chilling right there. A lot of the shrimp are way in the back. They like to just hide in the back, so I can't really film a lot of them for you guys. I'm just like running around this tank trying to find some blue bolts, but they keep hiding in the corners and they keep hiding like in the back. But anyways, this is a quick update on the tank, so I'm really excited to see these guys grow up and hopefully breed more for me. And I'm trying to focus on, I guess, the higher end blue bolts, and hopefully, I do have a couple of them in here, so hopefully those guys are breeding really well, and we can get some really nice strains of really nice extreme blue bolts. In the future, I may introduce some other like shadow pandas or something like that that's similar, where they can kind of like crossbreed, and we'll get some like blue bolt mix with some other nice shrimps like that. But right now, I'll see what happens with this, and then maybe in the future I'll kind of introduce some of those in here as well. Alright, so that's a quick update on the shrimp tank. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and until next time guys, peace.